Are the new Mark VI plastic Space Marines the best plastic Space Marines ever created? So here you can see on all these sprues the new Mark VI plastic Space Marines, firstborn Space Marines if you will. Now these 40, there's 40 of them here, came in the new Horus Heresy Age of Darkness boxed set, which has just been recently recently released, and I don't know why I'm still holding on to these precariously. Now, what I like about these new Mark VI Space Marines is that they remind me of the old RTB01 boxed set Mark VI Space Marines, but they've been updated for the current era. Also, Mark VI has always been my favourite mark of Space Marine armour. I always liked it back in the day in Rogue Trader, and then I was disappointed when it was replaced with Mark VII, and I'm happy to see it's come back. Anyway, that's enough waffle, let's jump in and have a look. So this little pile here, or large pile I should say, is the 40 new Mark VI Marines that come in the box set. Now there are a lot of repeated sprues. Of this one there's 1, 2, 3 and 4, the small accessory sprue. And the main sprue, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, all of exactly the same sprue. So I assume if you bought a box of 10 you might get 2, does that work? Or do you get, no, there's 5 on here. 5 on here. Yes, so 2 sprues will make 10 Marines. But as they're all the same, we only need to have a look at one big one and one small one. So we shall start here with the big one. Here's my trusty pointing stick. Get the light down and we'll start off having a look. Now it appears that each Marine here has its own section on the sprue, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that might fall apart a bit here. Or is this number 5 down here? Yes, that's 5. And then we have your chain bayonets here, shoulder pads, your halved shoulder pedals, a shoulder pedal for pedaling your arms along, a source of some contention for some people, and the backpacks. Anyway, let's have a little look around and see what we can see. So all the Beaky heads, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, another one there, and another one there, all look very similar. Although we do appear to get a couple of spares. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there appears to be 8 heads on this sprue for 3 Marines, which gives us 3 different heads. I assume a couple of them are meant to take the head upgrades, like the whatchamacallit, the head crest malarkey. And all these bolters are of the Umbra pattern, and they all do look very nice. There's one here, another one here. This one has the little Imperial Aquila on the bottom, same with this one. This one doesn't, but this one has a lovely strap motif going on. The torsos appear to be all sort of monopose one piece, which I quite like. It saves me faffing around, gluing things together and still ending up with the same pose. But I do like the way that you can see a bit of twist in the ribbing and pipework in those. Some of the legs have like different details on, like this one has a round bit on the back, this one has a sort of flat section, this one just has a line, and what's this one? Just a bit of grill. Oh, just chucked my stick away. I always do like a little bit of variation in detail. The chain bayonets have these very flimsy looking pieces on. I'm not sure what these bits are. I assume they attach to the bolter somehow with those bits. But I have a plan for these chain bayonets, which we'll see at the building stage. Arms are just arms, you know how they go. And then we have the backpacks. Some people say they probably have one layer too many in, and they're a bit too long. I myself say you don't really notice when they're assembled. Let me show you. Here is a Marine I base coated earlier the other day, and he has a lovely backpack, and I think it fits just about perfectly size-wise, although this one has the notch to put a Vexilla or a Hujima flip on it. I'll say that blue looks quite nice on this screen. Looking forward to progressing with these guys. So yes, that's the backpack. All the backpacks appear to be the same, apart from a little bit of detail. This one has a couple of notches. That has the nub on the top for sticking something on. This one has a little circle. Press that and it might fall off. And next up we have all these halved shoulder pads. Now I'd like to know if like this half will fit that half, or if they do have to be in their specific pairs. That might be half the reason I've seen a few people complain about gaps. Maybe they haven't paired them up specifically. No, they all have the same number, 32, 33, so they should all technically be exactly the same. But we'll see at the assembly stage again. At the back of the sprue shows us pretty much what we saw before. No sneaky little details coming out for me to see this time. Maybe back of the legs, anything weird on there? No, this one has a little venti thing. Looks like an ice dispenser from something. I like this bare head. That looks like a very Death Guard-y sort of muzzle thing on there. Very nice. And over here we can see the other side of that strap on the bolt gun, which I think looks very nice. Anyway, so when you purchase your Mark 6 tactical squad, you get this other little sprue with a few odds and sods on it. However, if you look in the bottom left corner, it says, if you're enjoying this video, then please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That means you, Alice. If you are enjoying the content here on the channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below or up here somewhere. We move on to the teeny tiny accessory sprue, the sprue which makes this the tactical squad, I guess. So on this sprue we have a rather nice looking sword. It's not overly huge like that Praetor one was. This appears to be fingers for a power glove. There it is. I wonder if you can have clenched fingers. That's what I like. I always like my fingers to be clenched on my power fist. That might be what that is, although I think that might be the thumb. These appear to be pouches. At first glance I thought they were lasgun power packs, some bayonets. These are considerably longer than I thought they were. I thought they'd be about half that length, but they're not. They are quite a long piece. The lightning claw claws. I always prefer to have the claws as part of the fingers, so I might attempt a conversion where I chop these off and stick them on the fingertips. Be interesting to see how well that goes. There's your Nuncio Vox. Is that a Nuncio Vox? Yes, that's the Vexilla up there. And some other little bits. This is a very tiny little detail here. Looks like an aerial of sorts. Not sure what that is. Another one of those. Looks like a respirator in a bag. That's got to be your melted charges. A couple of rolling pins and a grenade. There's your crest. I wonder if you can mount that both transversely and straight. I forgot the words. Can you mount it like this way or that way? Who knows? We'll have to look at the instructions again. There's a little plasma pistol. Lots of holstered pistols, all the same, all number 13. We also have another lasgun looking thing, more grenades, a Game Boy. Always have to paint a Game Boy screen on there, maybe Super Mario Land, maybe Tetris, or maybe the best Game Boy game ever, Batman. That was a good game. More holstered pistols, exactly the same again. Can't see what these are, we're going to have to flip it, and there's those bayonets again. So let's flip her over, have a look. So now we can see a couple of things in greater detail, such as the Nuncio Vox here. Looks to be like a looks like a wheel with a skull on to me. The two heads are a chap with a lovely beard, He looks like a guy I used to work with called Stuart. Hello, Stuart, if you're watching. And this guy is a mess. He's got bits all over him. I have no idea what those things are. I'd have to start painting that just to get a clue on what it is. What I do like about this is it reminds me of the old Mark VI metals released in the era of Rogue Trader, where you had heads where you could barely figure out what the hell was going on. This reminds me of that, so I like it actually. The Vexilla up here with a blank slate here for you to put your decals on perhaps. And here we can see the other side of those pouches, and they appear to have not a lot going on, just a couple of folds and creases in the material on those. So these were the new Mark VI Tactical Space Marines. What did you think of those? As I said before, I am very happy that we now have plastic Mark VI and I can relive my youth with some RTB01 themed Marines. What do you think is the best mark of Space Marine armour? And I've already answered this myself, however I would also say I do like the look of Mark I armour. I like the sunglasses. And I also like Mark V. If you bought the boxed set, are you building them all as tacticals, or are you saving them for use with some other sort of kit, such as the heavy weapons upswing, such as the heavy weapons upgrade kit? I myself am going to build 2 20-man tactical squads, as I've never ever done it. What armour mark are you hoping to see next? Like I said before, I'd like to see Mark I, but I don't think we're going to get it. That'll probably be in the Unification Wars supplement that comes out down the line somewhere, so hopefully Mark V is up next. Anyway, if you want to see some more Horus Heresy themed unboxing videos, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. As always, thank you very much for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels. I forgot to turn the camera off.